Yeah, good morning all.
Good morning. Bonjour.
Yeah, bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Hey, in fact, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for honoring us here. Thank you. We welcome you from Togo, right? From Togo. World Summit Awards, Togo.
Yes,
Thank you. So, oh, very much. World Summit Award, the Netherlands. I'm so blessed. I'm blessed. Thank you so very much. Oh, yeah. World Summit, the Netherlands. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so very much, all of you. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Herman, is your sound okay? Oh, great. Your sound okay there? Oh, great. Just check there. Just check there. Is your sound okay now, Herman? Hello, is your sound okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent.
Now I can hear you.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, thank you so very much, my dear brother, good friend. I brought you to Africa. I told you all.
Yes.
Yes. In the house, I have World Summit Awards National Expert for Togo, Olivier Monsieur. This is WSA Netherlands.
Yes. Yeah. Hello. How are you all over there? Great.
Yes.
Great to see you. Hi.
So while we give some more minutes for roll call, I'll just give you our theme song. Right, one more time. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. Victory Samuel. Please go ahead, please. Victory Samuel. Good morning. How are you? Oh, wait. Okay, we're just greeting, right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. In the house, I'm so happy to have very many of you, particularly my friends from outside the country. In the house, I'm proud to have the United Nations World Summit Awards National Expert for the Netherlands, Mr. Herman van Oorschot, and Monsieur, okay, that's Mr. Herman there. And in the house, yes. I also have the World Summit Awards National Expert for Togo, Olivier, and I'm sure in due course, yeah, thank you very much, my brother. Merci beaucoup. In due course, we are actually going to engage a lot more. The program will be off the ground as we speak. Today is not too much of speeches, papers, but it's total celebration. This event is born out of the fact that from tomorrow for 3 days, the world is doing a similar thing that we are doing here in Nigeria in what we call the World Summit Awards Global Congress. So this is a pre-congress for the World Summit Award Nigeria, and we are indeed honored to have some of our friends from around the world do join us even as we initiate this event at this moment. In the house, I can see quite a lot of people are also joining us, and I'm particularly very happy. I will say that so that I can just set the ball rolling for time, let me just do a general overview of this program. Just permit me do that. And later on, we'll get into sessions where I can pick on people to share their goodwill messages. And in a particular, no particular order as it can be, but then the flow charts and perhaps the algorithm that we have designed for this program, it will be good enough that we'll be able to at least get started and end the event. So permit me to share my screen to just share with you the event program. and its purposes. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can someone see my screen? Oh, great. So this event is made possible because of the power of the internet. Same way the world is meeting from tomorrow for 3 days, we are able to meet today, and we're able to bring our brothers and sisters all over Africa, all over the world, and of course within the country, and so many other people that may be joining us as we progress. The event was particularly put together so that we can further sensitize the processes of the World Summit Awards, at the entire region of the country. We have Nigeria has 36 states with a federal capital territory making about 37 regions, but then we see ourselves in about 6 geopolitical zones. But the World Summit Awards today is something that is now within reach of every state, and that is why we're engaging youths and of course their leadership to ensure that we actually can create these incubation hubs in each of the states. And we are happy to share, as we're going to see, some of the states that have started. In the program, we particularly are here and happy that we are celebrating because we have one of our winners by the name Hamzat Lawal, producer of the Follow the Money, and that is actually one of the winners and the top best 40 projects in the world last year for the World Summit Awards 2021, and he actually won under the Government and Citizens Engagement category. And we're so happy that this is happening. Further to that, we're going to actually acknowledge some state governments that are already putting in place the propositions that our small foundation is proposing to the entire country in what they are supposed to be doing for the nation. We have Edo State, we have Kano State, we have Nasarawa State, we have executive governor of Zamfara State, and of course, a lot more. The other winner in the junior category, what we call the World Youth Summit Awards, or World Summit Youth Awards, WSA, we have these 2 gentlemen, Dr. Imodoye Abioro and Dr. Tunde Oyebamiji, the 2 co-producers of a product called Lend an Arm. And they actually won under the junior category of the WSA. So to say, we now have Follow the Money and Lend an Arm from Nigeria to celebrate today. And we're not just celebrating these 2 that is all of us, we are celebrating the entire world. And I know in subsequent years, this is going to be something that is annual, and we are going to be able to see the rest of the projects as it's been done from the rest of the world, because innovation seems to be our foundation in all. So the entire reason why this innovation bed was put together is that we have Africa in such a ghetto-like kind of setting where we can see so many challenges, so many problems, but at the same time we aspire as a country, and particularly from the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, we aspire and dream to become a digital economy. And to do that, therefore, means that we need to actually adopt a lot of ICTs to solve the social environment of our native geographic environment and a cultural environment before we can actually turn into a digital economy. Nobody purchases a digital economy. And so therefore, it's going to take people, it's going to take a whole lot of collaboration for this to happen. And that is why the power of innovation in the hands of young people is going to really help us going forward. So that is the spirit of what we call the Innovation Bed Africa, and is meant to transform past community ecosystems to ideal future connected cities, leveraging on the UNICT for Cities Planning Automation Initiative, as well as the World Summit Awards innovation programs. Now, we have in the last decade done so well, and we are so happy that Nigeria remains indelibly on the World Innovation Map. And by this, we also give credit to the past winners from 2021, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. And we really want to sustain, and we're actually using this opportunity to encourage the rest of other African regions to go deeper, to do more qualitative participation at this global competition. And that is the main reason why this awareness and this campaign is becoming very, very important. Okay. We've got a funnel to say that as we receive more of our friends, the program is going to go in that order. And here we have enumerated all the various areas that the World Summit is actually engaged in, being the government and citizens engagement, the health and well-being, the learning and education, environment and green energy, cultures and tourism, smart and settlement urbanization, business and e-commerce, and inclusion and empowerment. And I think at this stage, I can just share, allow some of my World Summit national experts to also share a word for us, because they've done so well. They are actually the digital economies, and we're trying to see how we can actually not just leapfrog, do the right things and give ourselves the right foundation and consolidation that can actually make us see the very best of it. And at this stage, permit me to, I may just want to pick on the first person. Let me just pick on Mr. Herman, to welcome Herman. And please, Mr. Herman, just share with us what you think, what can we do better, and how can Africa particularly do better to improve our innovation ecosystem and perhaps do more to help our local environment, sir. Thank you. So, you can unmute yourself, sir.
Sorry. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you for having me here, and thank you for giving me this beautiful task to discuss with you what you could do better. On the other hand, it's for me very hard to tell you what you can do better, because I'm not completely informed about what you're doing. Of course, I've heard what you have said. What we are doing here is well, working on the axis of the WSA. So, as you know, they're following the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, of course. There's a lot of activity here in the field of trying to improve the possibilities for citizens, for civilians, to identify themselves and to let them safely do their trades, do their communication with the government and other things. And as far as I'm concerned, and we have a winner on that field this year, and probably that's also one of the reasons that I am talking about this now. I think it is really important, especially in the world as we know it today, that people can feel safe in their transactions, in their communications. So if I may suggest, and I don't know whether you have initiatives on that field as well, but that is one of the most important I think we have. What kind of suggestions would you like from me?
Great. I think in the first place, you've actually done so well there, because every geographic location, every economy seem to face certain advancements impact on their local environment in some adverse ways. Okay, you take, for instance, if you look at the Nigerian economy, you actually can see some low-hanging fruit sectors where these sectors have actually helped many of the population in prospering, you know, so that they really may not necessarily be that because they lost the gap to have been in education, and they can actually do some creative works and, of course, be creative, and of course be at least have less poverty within certain circles, particularly in our creative arts industry. For instance, what we call the Nollywood, which you all know, particularly this may not be very open in Europe, but of course, you know, Nollywood is actually doing so well in Nigeria. Nollywood adds and contributes to Nigerian GDP in a way that the tech ecosystem must see the best ways to help all those kind of sectors that are being affected negatively by technological disruptions. So how do you think, you being from Europe, for instance, doing what you do, some of these of our past, or some of these our sectors that are more likable, and of course they are vulnerable to these advanced technology advancements been impacting them negatively. How do you think the digital ecosystem in the country can actually help to kind of improve, or rather help them consolidate what they are doing and try to see how they can sustain and not totally disrupt and kind of totally displace them, so that the Nollywood and the creative arts industry can be helped?
So your question is what you can do to improve the knowledge infrastructure and the communication infrastructure? Okay,
all right. In particularly the creative arts industry.
The creative industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really. I mean, in our country, the usual communication channels like we are using here now, and all the databases with where the work can be stored and can be exchanged. That is providing an infrastructure on which the creative sector here can search, and I'm not familiar to the extent to which in your country the infrastructure is there to really exchange your programs and your communications. I've seen the work that you have done, and it all looks really good to me, and I'm not sure to what extent the technical infrastructure is the way you would like to have it. Is it more the software side? Is it the tooling that you're needing, or is it more the hardware infrastructure that you would like to do? I think the programs that we have here, they are mainly based to identify the talents amongst the young persons in the educational system, and to get it as fast as possible to grow it to a sustainable business of it, and that is the thing that we are doing it here, and the infrastructure helps with that. So I think the infrastructure is always the basis, together with the knowledge and the intelligence to identify where is room for improvement. I think I can be more specific than this.
All right. Thank you so very much, Herman. I think you've gone so far there, but then based on what we are putting together and based on some of the past research that we have done, because there's something we call the Fix the Gap research. We try to identify the problem, we try to offer solutions to them. And that is one thing I must tell you, that the World Summit Awards has done so greatly to the Nigerian economy, and of course to so many other African countries. We've been able to at least raise a handful of innovators the last decade. And we are actually following what they are doing, and then making sure that we can make sure that they become relevant in solving most of the services required on the economic verticals of Nigeria. And in so doing, we realize that that's actually where we are even realizing that some of these sectors are becoming moribund. Some of them are becoming, they are still on the brick and mortar kind of processes, for which we need to begin to intervene by ensuring that these things are now enjoying digital transformation concepts that are now beginning to give them some digital service orientation and direction. And that is actually where we're actually looking at how more of the youths in the environment can begin to imbibe in innovation capacity development so that they can begin to help the leadership around them. And that is the main essence of some of our campaigns.
Yes.
You've really done so well in that area, and I give you a thank you so very much again.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Herman, there. And that's the World Summit, that's the World Summit Awards National Expert for the Netherlands. Thank you so very much again. Let me also welcome my brother here, Monsieur Olivier. Monsieur Olivier, a word from you from Togo. And I would like to say how African national experts, how well can we do better? How can this kind of sessions happen? How can we do better? How can we collaborate a lot more, in making sure that this synergy can bring about more tech scouting principles that deliver more of our African young entrepreneurs from our various environments, and seeing that we all can, compete more at a higher frequency, more qualitatively, and for the better results for the Africa as a continent.
Okay. Thank you, my friend Amos Emmanuel, for inviting me at this meeting.
Yes, thank you.
Greetings, everyone from Senegal. I'm living in Senegal since for 4 years now.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, is that because I can share with you some parts of my knowledge of Senegal? I know Sali.
Exactly. Sali, yes.
And quite a couple of places there too. Thank you. And the Lille de Gorée.
Exactly.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm living in Popangin.
Popangin, all right, that's all right. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I would like to focus on your speech now. You speak about the Nollywood, how we can help Nollywood to be expanded or to be more known. Certainly, Nollywood has an impact on in Africa, widely in Africa, and among diaspora people outside of Africa. This is what the statistics shows. Okay, so it's something which is very specific for Africans originating, and according to me, and when I've heard Herman speaking to the threat actually, the main issue we want to address in digital world is the threat of security. So I have imagined that if it is possible to encourage the actors, the filmmakers at Nollywood to make more film about these topics of cybersecurity, specifically coming from Nigeria, who is known also as a country who is often blacklisted because of the cyber scammers. It will be a way to follow up, according to me. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry for my English.
That's all right. That's all right. No. You are good. You are covered. You are covered. Thank you, Monsieur Olivier. Et merci beaucoup once again. I think I'm in the house. I can actually spot a Nollywood person now that we are mentioning that. Mr. Uchenna Ayabele. Good morning, sir. You can unmute, sir.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Very well. Is your video on?
Okay, I had to turn it on now.
Yeah, some of us know this. Some of us can know this face way back on TV, long time ago. And he was some of the people that will make us stay on the TVs for so long, perhaps stay late night. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Uchenna. Please.
Thank you.
Mr. Uchenna, we need to know you and identify you properly. Please let me just state your title, because you don't just ask. You are a producer, you are so many things, and is a Secretary General. But please, let me just help me with that title clearly, please.
Okay, well, the immediate past Secretary General for NANTAP. NANTAP is the National Association for Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioners, which is an umbrella body for all associations in the Nigerian theatre and culture space. All right, that's one association that we have that for some reason has an extension where the Actors Guild of Nigeria, you know, that's a bit popular today, the Directors Guild of Nigeria, the Producers Guild, which is called AMP, or Association of Movie Producers, got of, branch offs, you know, from that umbrella body NANTAP. And that's where I just left my tenure as the Secretary General, which is the National Secretary in the Federation of Nigeria. But again, the theater, which is more of the stage kind of productions, you know, stage plays, you know, handles that part. But then what is much more in the know for a lot of people now is the Nollywood, which is the fact that that deals with the screens. All right, it deals with the screens. But you see, this is where we are coming in right now. There's something we say in the industry, we call it showbiz. All right, so show business. We've been able to handle a lot of the show, which has to do with the content. But right now, we are particular about handling the business part of it. And that's why the techie world, you know, must come to help us. That everything is getting digitalized lately. A lot of digital solutions and technologies, you know, up and about around, you know, where you can access the whole world on the same platform that we have. Of course, we have strong platforms like YouTube, Amazon, and all of that. But you see, beyond all of this, it's working from the perspective of what I think I can refer to as the individual capacities. And the individual capacities can make things work. We must work institutionally. And that's why I'm very particular about this Innovationbed Africa, you know, where we're now looking at the conglomerate, because it is a content that we produce from Africa that we can sell to the world. And it's only the digital expressions that can create such platforms for us to even network with the world. So we can even stay at the comfort of our homes, create beautiful content with a solution from the digital or the digitalized economy. We access the world. And that's why we're here this morning to see the opportunity, because we already have content. I mean, back and forth, like he mentioned, Cockadro, Super Story, you know, Village Headmaster. These are beautiful content that a lot of the world have not even seen. And the only way they can see now is through digital arrangements. Right. There's no way anybody will come from Germany and say he wants to come and see theater in Africa. With some of the security challenges, it becomes a little difficult right now. So the only way we can even transmit our content and then do business out of it is through this innovation that technology has brought. All right, so that's basically what we got content, but how do we transmit it? Now, I'm not saying we're doing badly. I mean, there's a bit of you know, networking happening, you know, within the industry at the moment. But although this has been my cry, it works on the individual capacities. People just, you know, form it out like, okay, Uchenna and Sons Limited, and I am the only one because I already have an idea of this. I run it to pay my bills. But the industry at large, it's the institution which we, you know, call Nollywood, is not growing as an institution, because we need tech-basis, you know, companies and organizations like this to come together and network with us so we can have a general pool. Once you access that pool with your content, you get compensated or remunerated for it. So that's basically why we're here this morning. And I'd like to thank Mr. Amos for being strategic with this. And I want to believe that this will take us to, you know, greater heights. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Yamele. Thank you so very much. And one more word, particularly to you, is that I don't know whether you share this my vision, that some of you who have been pioneers of the Nollywood many years ago, perhaps some even much more elderly than you, realize that you guys have a lot of content that the youths of today don't have at all. So it therefore means that the kind of assets, the kind of knowledge asset that you people have, the knowledge capital that you people have, you see, we should guide it so jealously in such a manner that we do not allow technological advancements to displace them. You know what I mean here is that some of these pioneer people are not that fast to grapple with the this new technological movements. The younger ones do. But the younger ones who have this don't have your kind of content. So, and like my worry right now was just as the kind of interventions I did many years ago when printers in Shomolu were doing cut and paste. We had to intervene, invite all the Mushi printers, invite all the Shomolu printers. I took them to my training school in Antonio way back then, and we had to let them know what digital transformations of what they were doing before is now looking like. And all these men whose family, who were like the breadwinners of their family, now begin to see a new picture of a job that they already seen that they were almost losing. And before you know it, they were now able to now think of the right machines to acquire, the right knowledge and the right way of doing what they were doing before. And that is a society bordering and caring about what that kind of social impact of these advancements can cause the citizens. So it's not just about spending money. So, and we've seen that. And look at the situation. I'm actually an Antony Village person and an Antony Village boy. Now, way back there at Antony Village, where you call Antony, okay, you will see taxi drivers right there parked, Kabu drivers parked way back then.
Yeah.
These people were parked for so long, a time that Uber, Taxify, that now Bolt took over their business. They never knew that things are happening. They will be there in the morning till late evening, only to realize no passenger is coming to them because Taxify and Bolt are going to their houses, going to their offices to pick them to their destinations. So it took them time to realize that technology has taken this thing off their hands. My own father was a photographer. My own father was a photographer. Everyone here is a better photographer, for instance. So you see, these are the kind of cultural, the social thing we are talking about. And we've had so much social innovation investment into this many years ago. And this is why our direction, we are not forcing, we are not begging anyone for it, but we are building a digital ecosystem that can connect, that can incubate, and deliver the future empire that we talk. And that is what I mean by innovation bed. Innovation bed simply means go dress up your beds. We've all lost it. We've all missed it. We need to go dress up our beds. That's exactly what it is. Let me just listen to my friend again, Hammond. Hearing from Mr. Hammond from Netherlands again. Hearing from my friend, from the actual actor, director, Babake, that we used to call them. And are we in technology trying to see how to help? How and what can you say to our situation, Mr. Hammond?
Well, I think you're doing just fine. I think it is really inspiring what you're doing over there. The incubation and the connection. We also have these programs, but I think what you are doing on it is really a much bigger scale, and you make much more pace than we can do here at the moment. So, congratulations.
Thank you so very much. Okay, let me take Mr. Shola Koleowo. He's also an ICT veteran. And Mr. Koleowo, please, you can actually unmute yourself. I don't know how else I don't know how else I want to introduce you. He's senator, he's honorable, past governor, but all this in the digital realm, actually. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amos. And I'll say, good morning, all. Can you hear me?
Very well. Your sound is good.
Okay, so I'll say good morning, all. I will say this meeting has been productive. Based on what I heard, based on Mr. Anyamele's submission and that of Mr. Hammond and every other person that has actually contributed. I think something for me that has come to light is that we still have some steps to cover.
Yes.
You know, in terms of bringing the content creators, as enunciated by Mr. Nyamele, with the technology, I would say with the technology, so to say. So in other words, that I could see a gap between the content creators. So in this way, we're talking about the Nollywood guys, and then the technology that is available. So we need to close the gap to ensure that indeed the community, and what I mean by this community, I'm talking about the content creators, the Nollywood guys, are actually getting good return on their investment. Okay, so, and this is where the digital ecosystem, I mean, the digital guys have role to play, which obviously is being championed by the Innovationbed forum. So yes, we still need to do, like I said, we have some steps to cover. So that community needs to be, sensitized. Amos was referring to the old, I would say the forerunners of the Nollywood, talking about the old papas in the 70s, 80s. You know, so the way and manner they are pushing their business in those days are no longer relevant. They cannot succeed. They cannot make any impact now. So those contents are there. How do we, and some of these contents, I would say they are as fresh as they were. They are still as fresh as what they were 40, 50 years ago. So how do we take this, how do we take this content and make them available to the larger community within and outside the country?
Information, Mr. Kolewo.
Yes.
Please, is your video okay? Because this video is going to Europe. The Europeans do not know how much Nollywood is worth. And to be frank with you, Europe Horizon is very interested in what Innovationbed is doing in Africa. We aren't begging anybody for money, and we've never gotten a dime from anyone. But it's been a service and product and an ecosystem that are already talking to us over, and we'll be glad that we share this. If you can actually share your video, so because some of the things we are bringing up now are also consolidating facts, and we want to see this identity. Are you an actor too, or from the digital evangelism, so that this record is very important that we put it, yeah.
Okay, I hope I can be seen now.
Excellent. I can see you now. I can see you. Very fat, robust. You were not like this before. You don't chop money.
So
Go ahead.
This is my humble self. Just a minute, please. So this is my humble self. Like I was saying, the contents are there, no doubt about that. And we've got a lot of good guys in the Nollywood industry, and not only in the Nollywood industry. We're talking about entertainment, community. So we've got a lot of guys, a lot of creators, that are adding value every day. But the challenge, like I said, is bringing these guys, bringing their content, bringing their products, so to say, to the larger markets. And that can only be done, that can only be achieved through technology, deployment of technology.
That's right.
So this talks to the infrastructure we have within, that is one. Secondly, the partnership that we've got to create between, because the world is now a global village. So we cannot just box ourselves into one corner, so we've got to create that partnership between the Nigerian community. When I say community, I'm talking about the Nollywood and the digital community, and also the outside, I mean, the world generally. So if this one goes beyond just putting our product or putting the content on Netflix or on YouTube or any other platform, so to say. But we've got to create that partnership. So digital, the infrastructure one, partnership. That is also very, very important. And I think this is where, so when I say partnership with businesses outside the country, and maybe as a step towards that, I could see the likes of Mr. Hammond here. We've got to see how we can partner, or he can help to navigate, the way towards this kind of partnership, businesses outside. I know ours is in the area of digital, enablement.
Thank
but
you.
At the same time, we cannot just put that corner and say we only look at the digital area without actually looking at the whole ecosystem, looking at the whole spectrum of delivering the content to the larger market.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Mr. Konshala. Thank you so very much, so that we don't Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so very much, Mr. Shola Kolewo. I quite appreciate that. And I think this actually brings me to see how I can relate back with Mr. Ayamele. Is Mr. Ayamele still in the house? Okay, great. Mr. Ayamele, in just a simple question. In your opinion as an actor, a producer, what do you think? What's the safest way? In what way do you think the tech ecosystem can help you in a manner that you are protected? Because there's something about piracy. I'm a victim of piracy and I know what that has cost me. But then content owners have a right to their content. What is the best way for your protection when you're getting people to get to know what you do and perhaps to help you on the contents that you already have? In the area of securing what you have, what are the fears? What are the problems? And what's the safest ways of helping people with contents in the Nollywood, sir? Mr. Ayamele.
Oh, maybe before Mr. Ayamele comes on board, can I just chip in something?
Okay, please. Okay, please. All right.
All right. So, like you say, in the area of security,
yes,
to secure.
My direction is this: as the World Summit Awards national expert for Nigeria, I will do my work. I have to also protect every product submitted from Nigeria, and that is why I do not just pick anybody on my national pre-selection committee. I move people who are already industry shakers and they understand what it is that these contents are about, and we really do not get too far into what these people hold, because we are just to validate you and submit you to your global database. So we are not to get into your details to protecting you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. So these people, like I said, the little I know about the production, the Nollywood guys, they are really exposed to a lot of risk of this piracy. And their exposure starts from the point at which so if you talk about a movie or whatever they are producing, so their exposure starts at the point of that production, when they set out their equipment to begin to record. I'm telling you, they are exposed. So it's not even at the tail end or at the end of the content having been created. Right from the moment that the shooting of the movie or whatever, they are exposed. So we should have that in our mind.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
What can technology do? What kind of technology can we apply to protect them? To say, you know what, right from the stage, right from your stage or location, your content is protected. So we're not going to wait until your product has been delivered. You've edited, everything is done, and then you are ready to go to market. You are equally exposed there. But right from the beginning of the spectrum, how protected are you? What kind of technology can we deploy or can be deployed to protect them? So this is just my own I know the interaction I've had with the Nollywood guys. So maybe Mr. Ayamele
Yes,
can shed more light.
I want to hear
More
more.
light.
I want to hear more from Mr. Yamile, because Shola Koleowo here is on the Faculty of Innovationbed Africa, and I'm actually very I love the viewpoint. I want to hear whether Mr. Yamile is of the support of that viewpoint too, regarding the risk, and perhaps to share more. Mr. Yamile, you have the floor, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Koleowo. I like the insight that you've also added to this. Please, am I heard?
Very well.
Me very well.
Your sound is good. Your sound is
great.
good.
Yes, we had to be good because we needed to get innovation for the solution.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like
so
that.
You see, I like the point he's highlighting on, and that's the fact that we're actually exposed from pre-production. We are exposed from pre-production because the certain guys, the piracy has different classes, really. The certain guys who are waiting, for the end product. The certain guys who are also waiting for certain glimpses, to catch on to, and then add it to whatever content they already have, so that they can create a package out of what they have, which is either half-baked or unbaked. And then the next thing they present it as a content. So we're overtly exposed. But there is something that the copyright law has also helped us to do, which is the fact that you can, copyright your content. But you see, usually your content is copyrighted and becomes useful to you only when there is trouble. That's when you can now go to say, I copyrighted is when there is trouble. But we're trying to actually, prevent these troubles, and that's why we're seeking for technological solutions to this. Again, because my industry is not an institution yet. My industry is not an institution yet. For example, the Nigerian Bar Association, you must have certain number that identifies you as a practitioner. So that number is only given to you. Nobody else has that number within the sphere of practice. We don't have that. This is what technology can also help us do. So our data gathering is also very, very poor. So we do not have a collective data where you can, a data mechanism where you can say, okay, there are 5,000 practitioners, 2,000 in the West, 3,000 in the East, 1,500 in the North. We don't have that. It's a problem. We don't have that. By God's grace, I've done at least 20 years. I may look a little younger. I have to start shaving these days so I can look as young as but I know I've done close to 20 years or more.
No, you're right. You're right.
I have a bit of an experience. I have a bit of experience with this. So this is where the solution we're seeking for. Can we have a database? Can we have a data collecting, system or mechanism that can help us to even trace or track? So if you say, I'm a film producer, okay, it's possible that we have subsectors. Okay, what subsector do you belong to? There's something that we even tried to pull up one time. They call it MOPICON, which is a movie motion practitioners council of Nigeria. But for some reason, it was hijacked. It was hijacked, my brother. It was hijacked. And so as it is, we're just looping, whoever that can access the government, explores the government at the expense of the collective. That's true. And I say this without fear of favor because, some of us have been, backlisted for saying the truth, just like Mr. Koleowo said, the contents are still right. I mean, there's no way you can replace those contents of Fade Yoloro. There's no way you can replace those contents of Sadiq Daba. Where do you put those contents? They are ingenuine, they are real. But what we just need to do is package them for this solution so that you can get further. And then the way YouTube now deals, whoever that is bringing content for them to share, once you can get a certain number of views, you're paid off.
That's correct.
So we must even have a correct, liaison with, maybe it's Google, I don't know who is in charge of those, ends, and say, hey, can this content producer be registered under certain, platforms? Can this content producer be held liable, just in case this can, produce hate speech, this can, lead to certain political crisis. But YouTube is just doing business and not minding about the business experts, within the system.
Thank you.
And
Thank
unfortunately,
you.
okay.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so much. I think we got to there, quite frankly, and I'm very, very impressed that this is happening. I perhaps want to share. I want to actually hear more from my friend, Monsieur Olivier. Monsieur Olivier. Hello, Monsieur Olivier. That would be the World Summit Awards national expert for Togo, but he's joining us from Senegal. And I want to see how we can share a bit. I want to see now in Senegal, because Senegal, Dakar particularly is known for tourism. I can confirm more tourism in Dakar than even in Lagos, quite frankly, because I've witnessed this. And I want to see, with the kind of content of creative arts and the kind of things you see there in Dakar, in Senegal particularly, is it the same problem you think we share, that you think technology should be able to also assist?
Thank you again, my brother Amos.
And sorry, so that I can tell every other person, my friend from Senegal speaks French more fluently, so I will, he can compile his French in English, so we can actually get his English very well. So, Monsieur, allons.
Yes, I've heard you very well. Thank you.
A compiler.
Yes, I'm compiling. I'm compiling already.
A French to English compiler.
Yes, I'm compiling already, Monsieur. Allez, allons.
I'm very interested with your exchanges. And I want to add that it's true that it is in Africa produce more in arts than other sectors.
Yeah.
So when Innovationbed Africa is talking about arts in Nigeria, certainly it's valuable for all African countries.
Yeah.
And here in Senegal, Senegal is a big country of tourism. So they produce arts very, very well. They are in the cinema through the Africa organization called FESPACO. And I would like to recommend a partnership. Now we are talking in IT level. We are talking about digital cooperation. So I think that Nollywood they have an organization called FEPASI. It is a Pan-African organization for cinema producers. I know some people from that sector. That's why I'm very interested about this kind of cooperation.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup, monsieur. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Olivier Kwame. Yeah, merci, Monsieur Olivier Kwame. And for the note that you are already Innovationbed actor for Togo, and that you are in Senegal. It does not change you that you are from Togo. Is that right? And I think I also sent invitation to Madame Shessif or Shelov or so. That is the WSA Senegal. Her name is Sheikh Kashif or something like that. But then that's all right. But then she was on my program the last time. But then there's quite a lot I know we're going to do. We're still expecting Morocco to join in. And quite a lot of other people expecting Benin too, but then quite a lot of other people. Egypt may also be in before time. But please, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I want to recognize some very important personalities in the house. I want to welcome my president, one of my former presidents in ISEX, Mr. Sani Dawop, sir. Good morning or good afternoon? Good afternoon now, sir. Mr. Sani Dawop.
Good afternoon, Dr. Amos.
How are you? Sir, we are still there. We're not doctor yet. But that was my ISECA president way back, and it's gone so well. And this is actually Plateau State governorship aspirant. And I think you're already there anyway. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So in the course of time, perhaps you can give your goodwill message later, but I want you to hear more. So that let's just take more input from the states. I want to identify with some youths I have here. I have from Zamfara States, Madam Mailafia, Asmao Mailafia from Zamfara. Please, Madam, let's just have you. Let's take your message from Zamfara.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name Asma Usani Melafia, representing Zamfara State. Before I move forward, I would like to extend the greetings from my DG Zidda, who is not here. He is really sorry for not being here because he has a very tight schedule today, and he's also extending his greetings from our own state governor, who is also not here. He's supposed to be part of us because he is supporting all that we have pertaining ICT, especially something that has to do with youth. So I assure you, he knows what we are doing and he is part of us spiritually. I have been with Innovationbed here. I started this in Zamfara State before bringing in the government. And I believe from the start till date, we have a lot of youth in Zamfara who have participated in the previous workshops that we did. And many of them are still thinking.
Lost sound from Madam Mailafia. Oh, great. We seem to have lost sound from Zamfara. Oh.
If our youth are being given the opportunity to go into politics and bring innovation, that is innovative politics. That is what I call it. I believe they will be given a chance because most of their ideas are almost exhausted. But with Innovationbed, I believe those ideas will be brought back. And even if they are going to roll into politics and be leaders of tomorrow.
Hello?